Hi students, good morning all of you. Hope you are all doing good. Welcome to lecture 8 in theory of equations. Hope you have watched the previous 7 lectures in this topic. In this lecture, I will be discussing the concept of multiple roots and related theorems, and I will be solving some polynomial equations with multiple roots. Let's look at the definition of multiple root. Here is the definition. Let f of x be a polynomial of degree n greater than 0, and let alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on up to alpha n be the roots of the polynomial equation f of x is equal to 0. Then we know this f of x can be expressed as the product of the factors a naught into x minus alpha 1 into x minus alpha 2 and so on up to x minus alpha n, where a naught is the leading coefficient. A complex number alpha is said to be a root of f of x is equal to 0 of multiplicity m if alpha is equal to alpha k for exactly m values of k among 1, 2, 3 and so on up to n. Okay, let us try to understand this through an example. Now let me consider f of x is equal to x minus 1 into x minus 2, x minus 1 into x minus 1 into x minus 2 into x minus 2 into x minus 2 into x minus 3. Okay, here n is equal to 6. Okay, and one can notice that 1 is repeated how many times? 2 times. Implies 1 is a root of f of x is equal to 0 with multiplicity 2. Okay, now 2 is repeated how many times? 3 times. Implies 2 is root of f of x is equal to 0 with multiplicity 3. Multiplicity 3. Hope you have understood the definition. Okay, let us note down one more point here on multiple roots. Let if f of x is a polynomial of degree n greater than 0, then alpha belongs to C is a root of f of x is equal to 0 of multiplicity m greater than 0 if and only if this f of x can be written as x minus alpha whole to the power m into q of x for some polynomial q of x of degree n minus m with q of alpha is not equal to 0. Let us try to understand this with the help of an example. Now let us consider the previous example which we have discussed. This is f of x is equal to x minus 1 into x minus 1 into x minus 2 into x minus 2 into x minus 2 into x minus 3. Now this can be written as x minus 1 whole square into x minus 2 whole square into x minus 2 whole cube into x minus 3. Now if I consider 1 is a multiple root, okay, then your g of x is equal to x minus 2 whole cube into x minus 3 and g of 1 is not equal to 0. Okay, now similarly if 2 is considered as a multiple root, then g dash, maybe g dash or h of x, let us say, then h of x is equal to x minus 1 whole square into x minus 3, and your h of 1 is h of 2. h of 2 is equal to 2 minus 1 whole square into 2 minus 3, which is not equal to 0. Okay, hope you have understood this point. Now here are some points. Roots of multiplicity m greater than 1 are called multiple roots or repeated roots. Okay, and the roots of multiplicity 1 are called simple roots. Okay, in the example which we have discussed just now, f of x is equal to x minus 1 whole square into x minus 2 whole cube into x minus 3. Here 1 comma 2 are multiple roots. Multiple roots with multiplicities 2 comma 3 respectively, and 3 is a simple root because it is repeated only once. 3 is a simple root. Hope you have understood these points. Let me discuss a theorem on multiple roots. Here is the statement of the theorem. Let f of x be a polynomial of degree n greater than 0, and let alpha be a root of the equation f of x is equal to 0 of multiplicity m, and if m greater than 1, then alpha is a root of the equation f dash x is equal to 0 of multiplicity m minus 1, and if m is equal to 1, then f dash alpha is not equal to 0. That means, what is the statement telling? If alpha is a root with the multiplicity m for the equation f of x is equal to 0, then alpha is a root with multiplicity m minus 1 for the equation f dash x is equal to 0. And if m is equal to 1, then f dash alpha is not equal to 0. Let us understand with the help of an example. Let me consider f of x is equal to x minus 1 whole square into x minus 2. So f of x is equal to 0. If I consider this equation, 1 is a repeated root. A repeated root. Multiplicity is 2. Multiplicity is 2. Okay. Now let me differentiate this. F dash x is equal to 2 into x minus 1 into x minus 2 plus differentiation of x minus 2 is 1 into x minus 1 whole square. Now if I take common x minus 1, then I get 2 into x minus 2 plus x minus 1. Now let me simplify that. X minus 1 into 2x minus 2. 2x plus x is 3x. Minus 4 minus 1 is minus 5. So this implies 1 is a root of f of x is equal to 0 with multiplicity 2. Now 1 is also a root of f dash x is equal to 0, but with the multiplicity 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. Okay, hope you have understood this with this example. Let us prove this theorem now. Okay, here is the proof. Since alpha is a root of f of x is equal to 0 with the multiplicity m, we have seen if alpha is a root of f of x is equal to 0 with the multiplicity m, then f of x can be written as f of x is equal to x minus alpha whole to the power m into g of x, where g of x is a polynomial of degree n minus m with g of alpha not equal to 0. Okay. So from the hypothesis we have written this. Now what we have to do? We have to find out f dash x. So for that what we have to do? We have to differentiate 1 with respect to x. So let us differentiate equation 1 with respect to x. F dash x is equal to, using the product rule, we are differentiating x minus alpha whole power m into g dash x plus m into x minus alpha whole to the power m minus 1 into g of x. Now taking common x minus alpha whole to the power m minus 1 from both these terms, we are left with x minus alpha into g dash x plus m into g of x. Okay. Now this can be written as x minus alpha whole to the power m minus 1 into h of x, where h of x is this particular term. Okay. H of x is equal to x minus alpha into g dash x plus m into g of x. Here h of alpha is not equal to 0. Why? Let us substitute alpha here. H of alpha is equal to alpha minus alpha, this becomes 0, into g dash alpha plus m into g of alpha. G of alpha is not equal to 0 from 1. Okay. So since h of alpha is not equal to 0, since g of alpha is not equal to 0. So therefore alpha is not a root of h of x is equal to 0, because if h of alpha not equal to 0, then obviously alpha is not a root of h of x is equal to 0. Then we could write f dash x as x minus alpha whole to the power m minus 1 into h of x, where h of alpha is not equal to 0. Then what can I tell? Thus alpha is a root of the equation f dash x is equal to 0 with the multiplicity m minus 1 if m is greater than 1. Okay. Now if m is equal to 1, what happens? Then f dash alpha is equal to, because m is equal to 1 means this term will disappear, then f dash alpha is equal to h of alpha. This h of alpha anyway it is not equal to 0. That means f dash alpha is not equal to 0. That is alpha is not a root of f dash x is equal to 0. Okay. Let me discuss a corollary based on the above theorem. This is the first corollary. Here is the statement of the corollary. Let f of x be a polynomial of degree n greater than 0 if alpha is a root of f of x is equal to 0 of multiplicity m, then alpha is a root of kth derivative of f of x is equal to 0 of multiplicity m minus k, where k is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on up to m minus 1. Let us see how do we go about the proof of it. Okay. So theorem 1, that means theorem, what does the theorem states? If alpha is a root, if alpha is a root with multiplicity m, okay, of the equation f of x is equal to 0, then alpha is a root of f dash x is equal to 0 with multiplicity m minus 1. Okay. Now apply the result for f dash x is f dash x. Okay. Now if alpha is a root, with multiplicity m minus 1 of f dash x is equal to 0, then alpha is a root of f dash whole dash, that is f double dash of x is equal to 0, okay, with multiplicity m minus 1 minus 1, that is m minus 2 actually. So in this manner, if you apply repeatedly, we will be getting alpha is a root of kth derivative of f of x of multiplicity m minus k actually. So what is the advantage of this corollary? Let me explain with the help of an example. Let me consider, let degree of f of x is equal to 5 and alpha is a root of f of x is equal to 0 with multiplicity m, multiplicity 3, let us say, okay. That means you are given a fifth degree polynomial and you have given some information, there is a root of f of x is equal to 0 with multiplicity 3. Now our aim is to find out alpha. So how do we find alpha? Okay, so by the above corollary, okay, alpha is a root of f kth derivative kth derivative here is what I will do, f dash of f double derivative of f of x is equal to 0 with multiplicity m minus, sorry, m here is 3 minus 2, that is equal to 1, okay. Now degree of f double dash x is equal to what? This becomes 3, it's a cubic equation, okay. Now just think about it. If at all you want to find out alpha directly, that means you have to solve a fifth degree equation, which is little complicated when compared to solving that of cubic equation. Now to find the root alpha, you need not solve the main equation directly. Instead, what you can do is you can solve this polynomial f double dash x is equal to 0. See, every time if you differentiate a polynomial of degree n, okay, its degree reduces by 1. Since f of x is a polynomial of degree 5, upon differentiating once, its degree decreases by 1. That means degree of f dash becomes 4 and that of degree of f double dash becomes 3. That means in order to find out the root alpha of f of x is equal to 0, it is enough if you solve a cubic equation, okay. If you find out the root for a cubic equation, that will do, and solving a cubic equation is easy when compared to that of solving a higher order polynomial equations, okay. So this is how this corollary helps us in finding the root of a polynomial with multiplicity more than 1, okay. Let me discuss the second corollary of this theorem. Here is the statement of the corollary. Let f of x be a polynomial of degree n greater than 0, then alpha is a root of the equation f of x is equal to 0 of multiplicity m if and only if f of alpha, f dash alpha and so on up to f m minus 1th derivative of f evaluated at alpha, all these things will become 0. and that mth derivative of f evaluated at alpha is not equal to 0. Okay, so if you look at the proof of it, if you apply the corollary 1 repeatedly, you will be getting this result. Okay, now let us see how this corollary 2 will be helpful in finding multiple roots of a polynomial equation. So let me consider, okay, let me consider f of x polynomial of degree 3. Okay, and it has a root of multiplicity 2. Okay, so then by this result alpha is a root of, okay, by this result f 2 minus 1, multiplicity 2 means 2 minus 1, alpha is equal to 0, that is f dash alpha is equal to 0. This implies alpha is a root of f dash x is equal to 0. Okay, and what is the degree of f dash? Degree of f dash x is equal to 2, and solving a quadratic equation is easy. Okay, so given a polynomial of degree 3 and a root multiplicity 2, then it is easy to find out the multiple root with this result. Okay, see, because solving a cubic equation directly is a little difficult when compared to a quadratic equation. Now let me consider the next example. So f of x is a polynomial of degree 4, let us say. That means we increase the complication, and it has a root with the multiplicity 3. So then by the above result, then by corollary 2, we get f double derivative of alpha, double derivative of f at alpha is equal to 0. That is, alpha is a root of f double derivative of f is equal to 0. So what is the degree of double derivative here? Degree of double derivative is equal to 4 minus 2, that is equal to 2. Now solving quadratic equation is easy. Okay, so this is how you can find out a multiple root of degree 4 equation. Now let me consider one more example. F of x is a polynomial of degree 5. Okay, it has a root with the multiplicity 3, let us take multiplicity 3. Okay, then by corollary, then f double dash of alpha is equal to 0. That is, alpha is a root of double derivative of f is equal to 0. So double derivative, degree of double derivative is what? Degree of double derivative of x is 3. 5 minus 2, it is 3. So we have to solve a cubic equation in order to find out the root. You have to solve cubic equation to get the multiple root. So in the case of degree 5 polynomial, if this is the information that is given on the root, then we have to solve a cubic polynomial to find out the multiple root. So in this way it helps us in finding multiple roots of a polynomial equation. Okay. Suppose you are asked to find out multiple root of a polynomial equation, okay, whose multiplicity is m. Okay, what we have to do is we have to find out f dash, f double dash, and so on up to f m minus 1th derivative of the function f of x. Okay, now you have to solve the least degree polynomial equation, that is f m minus 1 m minus 1th derivative of f. Okay, that is the least degree polynomial. After solving the polynomial you will be getting some roots. Okay, now which among these roots is a multiple root of f of x? How do we verify? So which among those roots satisfy the above equation, that is it has to satisfy f of x is equal to 0, it has to satisfy f dash x is equal to 0, and so on up to f m minus second derivative of f of x is equal to 0. Whichever the root satisfy all these equation, that is the multiple root of a given polynomial equation. Okay, and this corollary also gives us a way of representing mathematical representation. Suppose if at all you want to represent mathematically the concept of multiple root, this is how one can represent it. That means what? You want to tell that alpha is the root of the equation of f of x is equal to 0 with a multiplicity m. You can represent it this way: f of alpha and f dash alpha is equal to, and so on up to m minus 1th derivative of f at alpha is equal to 0, and mth derivative of f at alpha is not equal to 0. So to represent mathematically to represent the concept of multiple roots mathematically, this corollary will give us a way. This corollary helps you to represent it. Or this is another form of representing the multiple roots. This is another form of representing multiple roots mathematically. Let me discuss 2 points on the multiple roots. Here is the first point. If f of x contains a factor of the form x minus alpha whole to the power m for some alpha belongs to complex numbers and for some positive integer m greater than 1, then f dash x contains the factor x minus alpha whole to the power m minus 1. Thus f of x and f dash x have a common factor of x minus alpha whole to the power m minus 1. Okay, this is the second point. Here is the second point. Let f of x is a polynomial of degree n greater than 0, and if f of x and f dash x has no common factor, then we can say f of x has no multiple root. This is very, very important. Suppose you want to tell that f of x does not have any common root, what we have to do? We have to see that f and f dash don't have any common factor. Okay, let us solve some problems on multiple roots. Here is our first question. Solve 9x cube minus 15x square plus 7x minus 1 is equal to 0 given that it has multiple roots. Okay, let us find out the solution for this. Here is the solution. Let f of x is equal to the given polynomial 9x cube minus 15x square plus 7x minus 1. Okay, given that f of x is equal to 0 has multiple roots. Okay, so we know that if f of x is equal to 0 has multiple roots, then f of x f of x is equal to 0 and f dash x is equal to 0 has a common root. Okay, so let us find f dash x. So what is f dash x? F dash x is equal to 27x square minus 30x plus 7. Let us find the roots of f dash x is equal to 0. So let us factorize f dash x. So it is 27x square minus 30x plus 7. This 27 into 7 can be written as 9 into 3 into 7. So this is 9 into 21. So this 30 can be written as 21 into 9, 21 plus 7. So this is 27x square minus 21x minus 9x plus 7. So that is equal to, if I take common 3x, this becomes 9x minus 7. This is minus of 9x minus 7. That is equal to 3x minus 1 into 9x minus 7. So therefore the roots of f dash x is equal to 0 are 1 by 3 comma 7 by 9. Now let us find the multiple root. Let us find the multiple root of f of x is equal to 0. Put x is equal to, let us check whether x is equal to 1 by 3 is a multiple root or not. Put x is equal to 1 by 3 in f of x. So f at 1 by 3 is equal to 9 into 1 by 3 whole cube minus 15 into 1 by 3 whole square plus 7 into 1 by 3 minus 1. Okay, so what is f at 1 by 3 here? Here is a continuation. F at 1 by 3 is equal to, so 9 divided by 27 minus 15 divided by 9 plus 7 divided by 3 minus 1, that is equal to 1 by 3 minus 5 by 3 plus 7 by 3 minus 1 is equal to 1 minus 5 plus 7 minus 3. So that is equal to 0. Implies 1 by 3 is a root of f of x is equal to 0. Implies 1 by 3 is a multiple root. Multiple root of f of x is equal to 0. So let us find out the other roots of f of x is equal to 0. Let us do the Horner synthetic division. So here I am writing the coefficients of the given equation. So let me do the Horner synthetic division. So this is 1 by 3, 0. This is 9. 1 by 3 into 9 is 3. This is minus 12. 1 by 3 into minus 12 is minus 4. This is 3. 1 by 3 into 3 is 1. This becomes 0. Since 1 by 3 is a multiple root. Let us divide it again. So this becomes 9 into 1 by 3 is 3. This is minus 9. This becomes 3 minus 3. This becomes 0. So 9x cube minus 15x square plus 7x minus 1 is equal to x minus 1 by 3 whole square into 9x minus 9. So therefore the roots of the given equation, f of x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3 comma 1, because 9x minus 9 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to 1. Okay, so these are the roots of the given equation. Okay, hope you have understood the solution to this problem. Let us solve one more problem on multiple roots. Here is the problem. Solve 3x power 4 plus 16x cube plus 24x square minus 16 is equal to 0 given that it has multiple roots. Okay, let us try to solve this equation. Here is the solution. Let f of x is equal to 3x power 4 plus 16x cube plus 24x square minus 16. Okay, given that f of x is equal to 0 has multiple root. Okay, so we know that f of x is equal to 0 and f dash x is equal to 0 has a common root in this case. Now let us find out f dash x. So f dash x is equal to 12x cube plus 48x square plus 48x. Okay, so let us solve. Let us solve f dash x is equal to 0. So f dash x is equal to 0 means 12x cube plus 48x square plus 48x is equal to 0 implies, if I divide with 12 common, then this becomes x cube plus 4x square plus 4 is equal to 0. Now I take common x here, then this becomes x square plus 4x plus 4, that is equal to x into x plus 2 whole square. So the roots of f dash x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 0 comma minus 2. Now we have to find out the multiple root of f of x is equal to 0. Let us check. 0 is a root of f of x is equal to 0. So you substitute f at 0, this becomes 0 plus 0 plus 0 minus 16, this is not equal to 0, so therefore 0 is not a root. 0 is not a root of f of x is equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to minus 2 must be is a root of f of x is equal to 0. That is x is equal to minus 2 is the multiple root. Let us find out the other roots of it. Here is the continuation. Here is the continuation for that continuation. So we have got x is equal to minus 2 as a multiple root of f of x is equal to 0. So let us find out the other roots. So we use the Horner synthetic division to find out the factor. So I'll write the coefficients here. So 3, 16, 24, 0 here. This is minus 16 because this is x cube coefficient, this is x square coefficient, this is I think this is x to the power 4 coefficient, this is x cube coefficient, this is x square, this is x coefficient, and this is constant term, this is x to the power 0 term. Okay, so let me divide with x minus 2. Let us see what is the quotient. So this becomes 3, minus 2 into 3 is minus 6, this becomes 10, this is minus 20, 24 minus 20 is 4, minus 2 into 4 is minus 8, this becomes minus 8, minus 8 into minus 2, that becomes 16, so this becomes 0. So x minus 2 is a factor of it. So let us do the division again. So 3 plus 0 is 3, this becomes minus 6, this becomes 4, this becomes minus 8, this is minus 4, minus 2 into minus 4 is 8, this is plus 8, upon adding you will be getting 0. So therefore 3x power 4 plus 16x cube plus 24x square minus 16 is equal to x plus 2 whole square into 3x square plus 4x minus 4. Okay, now the roots of 3x square plus 4x minus 4 are minus 4 plus or minus b square, that is 16, minus 4 into 3 into minus 4. Okay, let me find out the roots here. The roots are minus 4 plus or minus under root b square, that is 16, minus 4 into 3 into minus 4 divided by 2 into 3. So that is minus 4 plus or minus, this is 16 plus 4 into 3, 12, 12 into 4, 48. So this divided by 6. So that is equal to minus 4 plus or minus under root 64 divided by 6. So minus 4 plus or minus 8 divided by 6. So minus 4 minus 8, so it is minus 12 by 6. Minus 4 plus 8 is 4 by 6, so that is equal to minus 2 comma, that is 2 by 3. Okay, so therefore the roots of f of x is equal to 0 are x is equal to minus 2, minus 2, minus 2 comma 2 by 3. Okay, so here minus 2 is a multiple root and its multiplicity is 3, but we are not given that information in the beginning, but for the it is given that it has only multiple roots, and multiplicity is not given here. If multiplicity is 3 is given, we could have differentiated the given f of x twice and could find out the roots easily. Okay, right.